So that should work. Okay. And there's some interesting new things going to happen. So let's first start. Last time we've seen all the balance changes. They did a whole command center opening event in which they announced the new. Well, let's read out. The following researchable German battleships will soon be added to the game for testing. So a new German battleship line. And I will make a little video out of it for YouTube, just a copy of this. We got a tier 3 till tier 7 ships. We got the Von der Tann, the Moltke, the Durflinger, and Durflinger makes me think of Zero no Tsukaima. The sword in that series is called Durflinger. We got the Mackensen, the Prince Heinrich, the Zieten, the Prince Ruprecht, and the Schlieffen. And what's going to be special about them? They look interesting, and I believe they all have torpedoes except the tier 3 or 4. Look at this. Can we make this bigger? We cannot make this bigger. Can we? Oh yeah, we can do it. We can just cheat this. We cheated bigger. Ah, big cheat. So yeah, tier 3, just guns on all sides. I believe he has a second gun on this side as well. It's hard to see, but I think he has 2 guns here. This will catch some shells here. Look at how high this is. The Von der Tann. Well, tier 3. Tier 3 will be tier 3. Then we have the tier 4, the Moltke. No torpedoes yet. You see a lot of casemate here. I believe up to tier 10 they get the casemates. So these are these little guns in here, which basically makes, to make place for these, the plating is all wobbly here. So it's basically all shell catchers. So you eat a lot of damage on those, because wherever you point that from any of this side, you will always have some flat points here. So angling will be tough on these ships, and I believe they all have it up to tier 10. It's basically the same design, only they missed this little top part here. But the guns seem to have the same configuration. Although, is this a super turret? Is super firing here? I think we have 2 turrets here over top each other. So backward seems like in reverse you have more guns on the target than from the front. So it's a kiter, I think. Then with the Durflinger. Oh, look at his nose. Insanely big nose. Looks a lot more modern here. Once again, more casemates. Only 8 guns, okay. The Mackensen. This one is a lot lower in the water. Suddenly the freeboards a lot less, although still the casemates, so still a lot of shell catchers there. Big noses. Seems to be like a theme in these ships. Look at the ones again, big nose. More casemates, not as much as the previous ship. Here you have litter of casemates. Here's just a few. Oh, here's the torpedo tubes. Yeah, here's torpedo tubes. I believe this one has torpedo tubes on deck somewhere. Let's see, I cannot see them at the moment. Not sure at what tier they start, but I don't see any torpedoes here. I believe one of the things about it would be long-range torpedoes, but short-range guns and good concealment. We'll see more of that. But oh, look at what the hell is this? What is this? Zieten. Look at this thing. It's like triangle head. What the suddenly from a little bit of superstructure to the ship is superstructure basically. What this is okay. And look inside this gun. It looks like the ship is well, a miniature version of the other, just squashed together. Still some casemate here, but it's a lot of superstructure to farm here. This is an insane thing. It's almost as big as the radio masts. This one has some torpedoes here. 3 torpedoes it seems. Then we go to tier 9. Torpedoes here and here. Double torpedo launchers. 2 times 3 torpedoes. Some secondaries next to the casemate. But they still keep the 8 gun setup. A lot less superstructure. And this one has a reasonable nose again. And then we have the Schlieffen here. do I see torpedoes? 1 torpedo set, so you went from 2 to 1 here. But there are 4 torpedoes. Big nose, okay. So they are based on real ships from tier 3 to tier 5 of the Imperial German Navy that participated in World War I. Mackensen was launched in 1917, not completed. Tier 7 to 10 are based on designs developed in the late 1910s. So yeah, they seem a bit old-fashioned, true. Especially this weird thing, whatever this is. I mean, this is one of the ugliest ships I've seen in a long time. The concept of the alternative branch of German battleships resort to short-range combat due to low concealment, good point, decent secondaries, whatever decent means, a small number of main battery guns, only 8 on most of them, low range of fire, so you're forced to short range. Ships are also armed with long range torpedoes, so this is a bit weird. Short range combat with long range torpedoes is a bit odd. Should you play it like a destroyer or something, or a kiting defender maybe? And then we have also the British ship, yeah. We will never go above the Yamato guns. It's right here. Yeah. So this will probably be an extremely long range, superiorly accurate, because it's probably, yeah, it's a battle cruiser, so battle cruiser dispersion. So this is basically Thunderer 2.0. I'm just very curious about this range. Low concealment, because long range. Why would you have good concealment? Why would you have not good concealment? Slip armor, yeah, this is another Thunderer nonsense thing. Incomparable, I compare it to the Thunderer. So we got that whole line. That's all coming up. Interesting, I'm curious to see what decent secondaries are. And that Zeton. I mean, holy hell. You see all of them? Big noses, 4 guns, pretty okay looking, and then you have this monstrosity in the middle there. Oh well. And do we have anything else? We got the... Let's make it a bit smaller again. We got the center with the dockyards, Dutch Cruisers Part 2 event. New Dutch Cruiser, the Zeven Provinciën, will be available to construct at the dockyard. Construction of Zeven Provinciën, 24 phases, yada yada, basic stuff. So you have to pay for 3 of the 24 phases, you have to pay. The rest you can just complete. And each phase, if after you complete, you get, after each phase you get steel, so you can basically buy steel with this one. Just get your buy the thing out at 23 points, and then you can just regrind the line for steel. And that's 24 times 250, so that's 600 steel, if my calculation right. No, 6,000 steel. Holy hell, that's a lot of steel. 6,000 just by getting this thing, and then just regrinding all the missions. Okay, she looks pretty cool though. She looks pretty damn cool. I like the camo. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. I like the camo a lot. Of course, the flags will not be in game, and I hope this flag will also not be in game because it is ugly. But the camo is interesting. I mean, it's very, very Dutch. I'm not saying it's very good looking, but it's not bad either. And it does fit because we do use these colors a lot in the Netherlands. So, looks pretty cool. Then we get a dockyard event where we can see it. 2 guns in the front. It does have one of those shell catchers back here. So, kiting is not really the biggest strength of the ship, I guess. And look at everything here is filled with equipment and guns and stuff. A lot of superstructure. A lot of superstructure. And I believe this is a pure AA gun. Well, it looks like it's a multifunctional gun. Might also work as secondary. We get a unique Dutch commander, Klaas Janssen, with the following enhanced skills. For destroyers, crews and battleships, power technician, main battery HE shells causing fire on target, plus 1.5% instead of the plus 1%. So more fires. Okay. Cruise and battleship, expert AA marksman, priority sector AA damage plus 35%, so even more AA damage. Oh, holy, yes. Instead of 25%. And they should already have very good AA, as they were advertised. This is the photo of the man. Oh, I like this flag. This flag looks cool. This flag looks cool. Clan battles, we get 7 format and tier 6 ships. No tier, yeah, tier 6 ships. At least a good, interesting tier. And it's clan battles, right? Yeah, clan battles, tier 6. That could be cool. Of course, there are carriers in there, but tier 6 is not something you see often in clan battles, so I think that would be pretty cool. No more than 2 aircraft carriers per team. 2 aircraft carriers in clan battles. Oh no. Oh no. I was hoping that there would be a max of 1 and maximum of 2 BBs, or 1 BB and 1 carrier. I was hoping for, but 2 carriers. Orbits. So if you take carriers, you don't have battleships, but at tier 6, I think carriers are so much more powerful. I think everyone will run 2 carriers there. At the start of the season, Admiral Graf Spee and Hazel Graf Spee are unavailable for clan battles. Why are Graf Spee? Okay. Don't see that Graf Spee is that powerful. Is the Graf Spee that powerful? That's things here. The Graf Spee, eh? German. There we go. Graf Spee. Oh yeah. It has the battleship guns basically, so that's why they put it out, because this basically is a battleship at tier 6. That's tanky, of course, but those guns, yeah, I understand. Okay, no Graf Spees for us then. So details will be announced later. Rank battle will begin. Tier 6, 8 and 10. So no longer 2 tiers in bronze, 2 tiers in silver, just 1 tier. I like that. There's all tiers with carriers though. There's no carrier-less 3 in there. You take part in the battles on submarines. Okay, you're gonna have subs and ranked battles. Oh, okay. How do you unlock those? Well, ranked battles, I would assume they give you the rentals, as they do now with the clan battles. They give you rental ships at tier 10. So I think you get rental submarines to test. Oh yeah, for rent or for free from random bundles. So I think you have to get them from random bundles and then you rent them, or not sure. We'll see. You read the results of the submarine test and change we've applied there. We'll read that later. In the profile summary statistic about ranked battles, the distribution by leagues, stretching back to the 4th season, are now available. So you can now see how bad people were in the past. You get even more nonsense about how bad people are. Interesting. Sensible. After qualifying, you can continue to play the next league without waiting for the next sprint to start. What? So you can't just qualify up. It's called ranked battles, not a ranked battle sprint. Yeah, it doesn't say sprint there. So you don't have to wait for the next day or something. You can just instantly go from bronze to silver to gold. You don't have to wait a day or something before you can get in there. Okay, so that's it. I was confused. I was like, hey, when ranked battle's over, you can just continue to play ranked until the next ranked start. I was like, what? But no, it is the league changes. The league changes. You don't have to wait for those. No? That is the wrong button. Should make that keybind different. That was my mute keybind. I need to sniff a bit. Let's see. New content. Following content has been added for upcoming activities dedicated to end of World War II. Permanent camouflage for the Missouri. Ceremonial. I mean, it looks cool, but how many people have Missouri? Are they going to make a Missouri event where you can get the Missouri? A lot of people want the Missouri. I mean, it's an amazing ship, and it's the ship with the best economy in the game. So, will it be available for people again? I hope not, because a lot of people have paid an insane amount of money to get it. And it is an effective camo. The blue the bottom and the light gray on top is actually effective in-game, although these things will make it harder to spot you, so it will be less effective than the basic camo. And what that mean is, let's see, where are you? My Missouri. Missouri. Good way. Missouri, there you are. No. This camo here. Because this camo actually is in-game, has proven to be effective, that people actually miss the citadel a lot more, because at long ranges it's very hard to distinguish the blue of the sea with the blue of the ship. So this is an actually functioning camouflage in world warships. That's why most of the permanent camo from the Americans did not continue to use this, because it was considered to be powerful compared to the other ships, other nations, I should say. So an actually functional camouflage for Missouri. Some patches, German State, Mighty Mo, as a okay. Some patches, that's all fine. Oh, this one looks cool. Active circus, no, strength for freedom. Freedom, America. Looks cool, and it is in Missouri, so that's kind of cool. Commemorative flag. This looks a little bit, it might be the wrinkle in the flag, but it looks like a bit, a very excited Missouri, it seems. If you know what I mean. We got some commanders, that's all fine. They're gray, so I don't think they get any bonuses. Wow. Holy wow. And we get gravity for, for Franklin Roosevelt. I mean, this is just a gravity art. It looks interesting, at least, but yeah, this is just this is not camo, this is gravity. Oh, we get sharks. Oh, Her Majesty's naval toaster? What? Huh? Okay. Sure. Naval toaster, whatever. Oh, there must be this one then, I guess. It might be wrong that this should be that this is in the wrong order, because this looks more like it's also not a toaster. But Brazil Bandeira Imperio might be the shark. No, I think this is Brazil actually, because the color scheme. Submarine qualification badge, that would be this one. So yes, it is in the wrong order. The toaster is here, Brazil is here, and submarine is here. The order is not right. Submarine qualification badge, by the way. To get qualified as submariner, you have to get to every single station, know what to do there. And there is this guy, what's his name again? He a pretty good YouTuber on submarine battles. He used to be a submariner himself, and he has a very good series about it, about actually getting submarine qualification, which is kind of hard to get. Not a small thing. We get premium ship 2 to 4 containers, okay. Probably for commander points, I expect. 2 different ones, it says. 2 variants, yes. Oh, one with the goldy stuff and one without the goldy stuff. So, trash ships and less trash ships, I guess. All information will be preliminary and everything can change, as usual, okay. Anything else? Oh, commander skills. Yes, we have to look at that as well. Commander skills. Here's some interesting changes. They're going to change. All information is preliminary, so things can change still. Names and characteristics can be changed during testing, so once again it can be changed. Yeah. They're going to change some skills. And some skills, well, one skill I know is good, and the rest is we'll see. A pyrotechnician, let's see what it is at the moment. Pyrotechnician for battleships, so there we go, let's recall commander. Battleships, pyrotechnician at this moment. Plus 1% of main battery shells causing a fire on the target. And the same for secondaries, so 1%. Will be changed to 1 plus, will be changed to added a bonus, so will not be replaced, but added a bonus. Plus 50% chance to the fragmentation damage area of main battery and secondary battery shells, as well as HE rockets and bombs when firing at submarines. So the AoE when an HE shell hits the water will be 50% larger. That's what it says here. And also will work on bombs. I think they include this because battleships will be able to use depth charge, I think. Maybe. Weird. But it says this. It might be for cruisers and as well, same thing. They just use the same wording, just want to copy paste the same thing. Rockets, obviously, battleships don't have those. Maybe a new version of the ESA, but I doubt there will be any battleship using rocket planes. But bigger AoE on your HE shells, so easier to kill both submarines and DDs because you hit them easier. So that's a nice quality of life change for the battleship if you take power ignition, of course. So mostly the already good at HE firing ships. So I think most of the English battleships will use this, I guess. It will be best for them. And line 2, consumable enhancement at this moment, that's still, let's see. That's when you can citadel Des Moines with a new German BBs. With HE new German BBs. I believe you can, but only at the, of course, you have to face Des Moines, you have to have a tier 10, but yes, you can. At depends on the range you have though, depends on the range, but yes, you can. You can citadel the Des Moines with HE in the new German highest tier BBs as they are now, but that can change. But we're looking at this skill right now. Consumable enhancements, what's it at the moment? It should be this one. Oh yeah. Added the time for hydro, surveillance radar, smoke or engine boost consumable. So 10% for those, where there's only those, but sure. The skill is replaced with brisk. Increase your ship speed by 10% while undetected. This is for battleships. Not many battleships want to be undetected all the time. When you're doing your thing, you are detected. And in most battleships, you should at least pose a threat to let people know that you are there. So you are fast when undetected, seems nice. Maybe on the Odin, because you need to play it as an ambush ship. But beyond that, I don't see it being worthwhile. Especially because it's tier 2, right? At tier 2, we have grease the gears. Everyone wants grease the gears, and no one wants more than one tier 2 skill, because you want to have more tier 4 skills. So, yeah. And you've greased the gears here. I have a Chi, not really great. This one will be changed for brisk then, so will be gone. Vigilance might be okay. Priority target is good, so you have priority targets. Grease the gears. AA gunner could be okay. Depends for some of the more AA focused battleships. It can be used, not very good, but still. There's a lot of competition for that skill. And I don't see brisk being worth it in most battleships. So no, I would not take this. Maybe only on the Odin. Because the Odin wants to be sneaky, then do its thing, and then sneak, and then stealth up and go away. Vigilance. Vigilance at this moment is... no, here you are. Torpedo acquisition range plus 25%. So you see torpedoes faster. And, their others will be 7% torpedo protection. Oh, that's pretty cool. That makes it a lot better. I mean, not only will you see torpedoes faster, but you actually get protection from them. So, for example, in a gross curvest, where you can see torpedoes with your hydro, you cannot really avoid them mostly. So, actual torpedo protection would be good. Would be really good. So, maybe for very ships that are made for very close range combat and that have to face with torpedoes but don't have the maneuverability, then it might be useful. Oh, makes it even a better competitor for brisk, because brisk is, yeah, that's not enough. So vigilance is getting a lot better, and you get AA gunner. Added AA gunner, we've just seen that one. A 10% to bonus to continuous AA, and from AA shell explosions 10% damage. And we get added 10% damage caused by depth charges for your depth charge planes. This is of course for battleships, so you don't have normally depth charges. And add an activate effect. Ship consumables reload 5% faster while ship's AA is active. This is confusing. You can disable your AA and secondaries and you can enable them. And I think that's not what they mean with active. I think what they mean with active is actively shooting. 5% reload is nothing. I mean, that is not worth anything. And only active while A is active. So you have to have a consumable on cooldown. Might be DCP, might be your heal, might be whatever. Then you have to use your AA at that moment. So you have to shoot down planes or shooting at planes. So you have to be under carrier attack. Or have to fight any spotting plane, fighter plane, that kind of stuff. And then you have a 5% reload on your consumable. And this is basically a nice but don't care thing. It's just not enough. 10%, maybe 50% would be useful, but then as base, not while the ship's AA is active. That active nonsense, useless. That makes the whole skill useless. And even if it was permanently, it's still not good enough with 5%. So yeah, this whole activation thing should be scrapped and this should be 10%. Then it would be useful. Now just whatever. But 10% damage goes to depth charges? That can be useful. Because you use your depth charge planes, and I'm not sure how easy they are to hit. I only had experience using them in the second iteration of the submarine testing, and at that moment in time they were pretty effective. So that might help if you like to use those depth charge planes. And at that time I tested them on surface ships, and they still did damage to surface ships. I believe that has been changed with this iteration. I haven't seen any depth charge doing damage to surface ships or even surface submarines. So, but if you like those planes, you can use this. So it makes it a bit more versatile. AA Gunner is now also for anti-submarine warfare. Cool. We get a new skill. Instead of enhanced anti-torpedo protection, which used to be here. Oh, the 10% damage reduction, which is pretty good actually, if you are afraid of getting hit by torpedoes, especially if you would add it with the 7% we just got here from Vigilance. It would be a cool combination, but they're going to remove that, unfortunately. You get now as 0.5% to the reload time of the repair particle consumable for each potential damage value received equal to ship's total HP. Okay, this is one of we have to break down. Say you have a ship of 100,000 HP. Then you need 100,000 HP for one for each potential damage value received. So this is for 1 point. Let's call the point. So my ship is 100,000 HP. 100,000 HP. Then you need to have 100,000 potential damage. Then you get one charge of this. And one charge is minus 0.5% to reload time of repair party. Repair party is your heal. So your heal reload gets better, very, very slightly, extremely slightly, when you've already tanked your entire ship HP pool. And then you get 0.5%. So you have to survive millions of potential damage in your 100,000 ship to actually notice this. And by that time, if you have millions of potential damage on your ship, you already used all your repair parties. I mean, this skill is completely worthless. Don't take this. This is just a waste of skill points. Because at the point this skill becomes useful, about 10ish to 20% damage, real time reduction, you already used all your repair parties. So yeah, completely useless. I don't know who thought this up, but no, don't take this. Expert AA marksman, let's see what's that at the moment. This one here, yeah. Projected damage plus 25%. I think that's pretty good. You can use this in conjunction if you have it on your ship with defensive A consumable, which gives 300%. So you get 325% damage on the first blast you do when activating your priority sector. If you activate once your ship's AA already starts firing. So that could be a big blob. So 25% is good, and you get an extra AA shell explosion. So I like that part as well. So it's a decent skill if you have an AA capable ship. If your ship is not AA capable, don't take it. But if it's AA capable, it's a decent skill. The bonus is minus 50% to the reload time of the airstrike armament. So that is, isn't that only on the Dutch cruisers? This is the battleship line. Yeah, battleship skills. So are they going to be battleships with airstrike armament? Including the one of anti-submarine defense aircraft. Okay, so this is for the anti-submarine warfare. The reload time on anti-submarine warfare is reduced by 15%. Useful. If you want to go against the submarines in your battleship, yeah, useful. Just a flat 50%. Bonus to reload, and I believe airstrike armament is armament, so there's no limited amount of them. And this is useful. 50%, good value. And it is always active, not only active if you do nonsense. So there's no caveats in this. So this is a decent buff. Let's see. Instead of brisk, at the new skill instead of brisk. I think they mean instead of. Oh, it's already called brisk. What? It's already called brisk. I thought they would implement that later. It's already called brisk. Increase your ship's speed while she remains under attack 10%. Okay, I thought it had another name. It's already called brisk. So instead of that skill, an activate effect. I already dislike it. Because activate effect are never activate, they're always passive. The determines usually on your enemy's movement. So let's see. Minus 5% to the main battery reload time. 5%, not worth it for a tier 4 skill. And plus 5% to dispersion of the shells fired by enemies attacking your ship. 5%, once again, not influencing anything at all, usually. For each active fire set on your ship. Oh! So, basically, the more fires on your ship, the better the skill becomes. Well, tell me, who wants to have more than one fire on a ship to make the skill work? And the skill is 5% per fire set. So, if you have no fire prevention, maximum 20% reload reduction when you have 4 fires active. Who wants to be in this situation? Yeah, 4 fires active, so now for 20% reload reduction. Who wants to be in this position? I, for one, do not. You don't want to be on fire. 1, it's an active effect. 2, it depends on your enemy setting you on fire. 3, it's only a 5% buff, which is not worth it. So it is with a caveat. It's not always active. It's only active when you're basically already dying or dead. Hell no. Hell no. Holy shit. Holy shit. Whoever thought this has never played World of Warships. Definitely never played World of Warships. You don't want to be set on fire. Fires are the most broken way of dealing damage in this game. They ignore armor. They ignore angling. They take a set percent of your HP, not a set amount of damage. No, set a percentage of your HP. So this kills equally battleships, cruisers, and destroyers. And you want more than one of them to make this skill useful. You want at least 3 of them to make this skill useful. Yeah, hell bloody no. Yeah, don't take that. Complete trash, utter trash. Oh, this one could be good. The wording is pretty weird though. So this could be interpreted in 2 different ways. I'll explain both of them, and then we see if it's useful. Improved secondary battery aiming. At the moment it is maximum dispersion of secondary battery shells fired at priority target only, minus 35%. So 35% bonus it is now. And if we now go for here, added permanent effects. So permanent, that's good. Permanent effects are good for tier 4s. Minus 10% to the secondary battery reload time. Good. 10% damage buff. Instantly, good. 10% to dispersion of secondary shells. The problem is in the wording. Is this added, as it says here, so will now be 45% instead of 35%? Then this would be an amazing thing. 10% better dispersion and 10% more DPM on it. Amazing combination. If it's not added, but instead of this part, then it will be a nerf, because you go from 35% all the time to 10% all the time, which makes it trash, because it's already trash at 35%. So it depends on the wording. I've heard both explanations and both could be true. I hope that added actually means added and you go to 45%. So the skill at base is already good. Change the mechanic of the bonus to the maximum dispersion. The bonus to the maximum dispersion of secondary battery shells fired at priority targets. So, do they call this a bonus? They don't call it a bonus here. No, there's no bonus in there. Okay. So what do they mean with the bonus? Is that the 35% that's already now? Is that the 45% or is it the 10%? What's the bonus? Activate effect. I already dislike it. At a tier 4 skill, I want something that's active all the time. Passive effects, because you can always counter them. You don't see when an active effect gets activated, so there is no feedback to the player. So activate effect, I already dislike as tier 4 skill, because the base effect must be good. Activate effects are, well, always depend on your team, because you cannot activate them yourself 9 of 10 times. That's a problem with this game. The activate effects are not activated by the player, but by the enemy team doing something. You don't want to be reliant on the enemy team for your skills to work. Let's see. The accuracy of the secondary battery on a priority target gradually increases with the continuous firing of the secondary battery. So secondary battery firing means it is activated. The maximum bonus to the secondary battery from this activate effect is plus 50%. Is this 50% on top of the 10%, on top of the 35%, or on top of the 45%? Or is it maximum 50%, no matter what this is? Let's see. Maximum bonus to the secondary battery from this activate effect. I would say this is a separate effect from this, so this is always active. Whether this be 35 or 45 or 10%, I don't know. So this seems to be a different effect. And this can be achieved if the secondary battery is continuously firing for 45 seconds. So this can be explained in 3 different ways. Either overpoweredly amazing, you can go to 95% accuracy if this would be added, as it says here, to the 35%, and you can go from 45% and then get an additional 50%. Would be unbelievable that would do that. Would be cool, but might be very much broken to any DD who wants to get close to a secondary ship. This could also be that this is separate and not the same as this. Maximum bonus. So this is a bonus, and this is a dispersion reduction. So okay, so they're not added to each other. It's weird that this is 50%. I thought this one, I've heard this one is sorry, it was some kind of lawnmower in my front lawn apparently. Okay, this is with what you call it, diminishing returns. That's the word I'm looking for. Diminishing returns. So you get this bonus. You have here the 10%, the 35%, or the 45%, whichever is true. And then that bonus gets a 50% boost at the end. So you can get, with 10%, you will get 50% at the end, and so forth. So 50% bonus of this. I don't think it will be added because it will be 95% is ridiculous. So it could be overpowered, it could be good, or it could be a nerf from what we have now. The maximum bonus is plus 50%. If this is not diminishing returns, if it is not that, then it is better than, or at the moment currently, the 35% here. But I doubt. I think we'll get to 50% bonus here at the maximum. That will make it 10% less good than it used to be in the past, where it was 60% bonus dispersion. But still not better than this now. It would maybe make them still viable. So this skill can be explained in so many different ways that could be either broken, good, or actually a nerf. And I don't like all these stupid active effects because you cannot counter them when you need them. This one needs 45 seconds to ramp up. If I go in with my curve first and want to push and DD comes from behind an island, I need to know that my secondaries hit that thing and can kill it. I don't have 45 seconds to waste because he will probably come close and torpedo me in the face before those 45 seconds are up. So I don't like active effects, especially on tier 4 skills. Because they cost so much investment and then they're not even active when you need them active and mostly reliant on your enemies. So I'm not a big fan of this whole activate effect nonsense. I'm not a fan. I just hope that secondaries get actually added permanent effects, and this is 45%. So we get a flat bonus, and then that there is this whole mechanic, fine and dandy, but yeah, not something I wanna focus on or I wanna rely on. So yeah. If the secondary is not found for 15 seconds, the bonus to the accuracy from activate effect gradually decreases. Is a gradual decrease in 45 seconds, then it's okay. If it gets instantly bumped to 0 in 15 seconds, then that should be the same number there. Because it costs you 45 seconds to get there, I want to also at least make it cost 45 seconds to get down to 0, basically. When a priority target is changed, the bonus with accuracy on the new priority target from the activated effect is instantly bumped down to 75% of the accumulated bonus. So it is then suddenly, if you were firing for 45 seconds or something and it died or went away, then you get shoot the next target and it will pretend that you were shooting it for 30 seconds for this bonus. Oh, that's fine. That is fine. So at least you don't go back to 0 when you change the target. Oh, that is at least fine. So there's a lot of interpretation that can be done in this one, but it could be awesome and it could also be crap. So this is interesting. I'd like to test this out and see how it actually works. And I'm probably going to do some tests within a training room to see actually what it does, because yeah, it is kind of up to interpretation at the moment. Then close quarters combat. Let's see, what's close quarters combat right now? This one? Yeah. Secondary battery reload time minus 10% and main battery reload time minus 10%. And that will be then remove the bonus minus 10 to secondary battery reload time. I understand that they put the secondary battery reload time from here to here. I understand that. But I don't see why this skill had to be nerfed. I would say leave it there so people can actually go full close quarters. And this called close quarters combat. Main battery reload time minus 10%. After an enemy has been spotted within the firing range of your ship's secondary battery. So this is an activated effect, already hate it. But it means that the enemy ship is already secondary range for your main batteries to shoot. So close range combat still works. But now there's a 4-point skill that gives you main battery reload time with a big if attached to it. It's a big if. It's another 4-point skill, it's not worth it. I don't want a 4-point skill which takes ridiculously long to grind to get an if. I don't want an if, I want to know that whatever I put in there works. This always works. Doesn't matter if anyone is shooting at me or not, this always works. This always works. This always works. And then this doesn't. And this doesn't. And this doesn't. Well, okay, this at the moment works always, but will soon to be doesn't always work. All these activate effects make these a lot less valuable because they're only active if. And I don't want an if for my 4 points. It's far too expensive to get an if. So I'm not a fan. Not a fan. But for now, secondaries could be good. We might be able to play secondary battleships and actually hit things and do damage with them again. Maybe. If the wording hasn't been screwed up. Like this word here. Very important. If this is just added, actually added, so you get 45% to dispersion of secondary battle shells, and then this on top, very awesome, amazing, I love it. If this is not added, it's trash. But there are some skills that are truly weird, that you truly don't want to take. Yeah, there's some really weird skills in there that actually are bad for you. Don't take those skills. They actually nerf your ship. It is ridiculous they put them in. I mean, if I spec my captain, I want it to be no skills. No skills, apparently. I want it to actually work. And yeah, not want to nerf my own ship. That's why I also very much dislike skills like skills with a negative effect. No, I mean tier 4 skills with negative effect. They don't have that's the carriers, right? Yeah, it's carriers. Here, skills like this. For 4 points you get speed of returning escorters minus 50%. I know it's carrier, I know most people don't like it, but to get a negative for a tier 4 skill? Hell no. Hell no. I don't want to pay 4 points for a negative. For any skill, I don't want a negative. Arrival time plus 50%. We don't want this. All the negatives. You don't want that. That's just a waste of skill points. A waste of. I don't see why they put it in. It's a lot of effort to get that stuff, and then you get a negative for it. No. Negative feedback. You don't want negative feedback loops. You want positive feedback loops. If I grounded 4 points, I want a good skill that actually works for me. Not something that gives me a downside. It's just like the stupid thing on the legendary modules. This thing right here. A ship with already poor dispersion and poor range. And then you get a legendary module for which I had to waste months to get this bloody thing. And then get main battery firing range minus 8%. You don't want this. This is useless. This is trash. I put it on because I have it. And YOLO, but it's not good at all. But let's have a look at the cruise skills. Pyrotechnician. Add a bonus, so AoE still increased. Yep, same thing. Extra heavy AP shells. Plus 10 damage caused by depth charges. Oh, sorry, this destroyer. Destroyer. I'm reading it wrong. Not cruiser, no, destroyer. Where's the cruiser then? Oh, he's a cruiser. I just went down too low. Another 50% of pyrotechnician, same thing. 10% to the reload time of the airstrike armament, including 10% for the cruisers, where you get for the same skill at battleships, 5% was? What? Am I wrong? Expert A marksman. There you are. Minus 50%. What? So minus 50% for battleships, where you have minus 10% on the cruisers. Okay, so battleships can use their protection more often then. That's I would expect them to be better for cruisers, because those are most likely the ASW ships. But for a battleship to protect themselves better is, well, I think it's a good thing. So 10% bonus to the reload time, good. Outnumbered, at the moment that is outnumbered. Is it this one? No, top grade, outnumbered. Maximum dispersion of the main battery shells minus 10%. Ship speed plus 8%. It's one of those if skills. If there are more visible enemy ships than allies within the firing range of the ship's main battery. It's once again an if and depend on positioning of teammates and enemies. So yeah. It's an if skill. I don't like it, But what going to change? They're going to change. Bonus to the main battery accuracy and ship speed is now activated when there are not only more visible enemy ships than allies, but also the same numbers of them within firing range of the ship's main battery. So you get a bonus of, oh, the ship count is the same. Oh, you still get the bonus. The bonus will also be active when there are both no enemy ships or allied ships within firing range. So you get, with cruisers you like to be undetected on occasion. But if you are, if there is no enemy or allied ships within firing range of your ship's main battery, so you have a bit faster relocation if you're out of position. So once again, out of position. The only ships I see this work on is ships with very short range. So they can use this when there's no one in range of their main batteries. Like for example, the Flint, the Atlanta, and Colbert. A very short range on those ships. So very likely there will be no one in their ship's range for a while, even no allies. Still means you're alone, but okay. But a bit more relocation speed for 8%. Fine. On ships with long range though, like let's say the Yoshino or something, there's still more allied ships usually than enemies, so it won't work. So I think this is only for the very low range end of the cruisers. I think it's the only ones who make use of this. And you get the bonus that it doesn't have to be more enemies, it has to be the same or more enemies and allies within your range. It's an if skill, so yeah, I would not take this. Maybe on Colbert and Atlanta and Flint. Those are the only ones I might consider this. The accuracy I don't care because your range is so short, your accuracy is decent anyway. But the ship speed will be interesting, but it's a 4 skill point, right? It's 4 points. As a cruiser, you want Concealed Expert. As the cruiser I just mentioned, you want AA Gunner. And well, IFHE on some of them maybe. Radio location is good. Top grade gunner. If there's a ship within your standard detectability range, increase the reload speed of my battery. Well, good for Colbert maybe. If something gets close to you, can actually do a lot more damage. Increase the reload speed. It permanent affects secondary battery reload time. Yeah, sure. Maybe on the A gear. Siegfried, as the one secondary skill they can take. And the reload speed of my battery will be increased, yeah, for 8%. So it's not an if skill, not really useful. It's an if skill. I think it's still trash and not worth 4 points. You don't want if. You don't want if at 4 points. That's just useless. You must be able to count on your skills. A gunner, 50% chance damage caused by depth charge. I believe the BB said that at 10% there. Yeah, 10% for the bowser. So that's odd actually. The AA gunner gives only a 10% damage increase, but the expert marksman gives a 50%. So you get extra reload above the cruisers, but you get less damage over the cruisers. Interesting. So not consistent there. I would say give one of the two the advantage and the other not. But better reload but less damage. Okay. Edit activated effect. Ship consumables reload fast while ship A is active. Completely useless and utter trash. Unless you actively hunt for the carrier planes, which I do on occasion. But even then, it's an if skill. It's yeah, sounds interesting. It's a 10% by the way, where the battleship have a 5%, I believe. Yeah, 5. Where's dispersion? Where are you? 5%, yes, on battleships. So it's slightly better on cruisers, but still, it's an if skill. And that only when AA is active. And if you're in a ship that want to use your AA, then usually the carrier doesn't want to go for you. So, yeah, useless. Useless addition. This can be useful, but this is just trash. Destroyer skills, pyrotechnician. What's that at the moment? Destroyer, Z here, pyrotechnician. 1% to secondaries or main armaments. Becomes one extra AoE. Okay, when firing at submarines, so it doesn't work. It's another if skill. They put another if skill, god damn it. They should just remove this little part. You get 50% bonus AoE to fragmentation damage area of main battery and secondary battery shells. Period. Remove this part. Doesn't matter if I want to shoot a DD, a submarine, a cruiser, a battleship. I want this bonus because I paid my skill points for it. So this is completely and utterly worthless because of this little part. And I must have missed it in the other skills. When firing submarines, yep, there it is. Yep, trash. When firing, they want to put so many restricted skills in there. I want my skills to be active. It costs points to get it. I don't want my skills to be active when stuff X happens, and especially not if they don't show me when X has happened and now it is active. It doesn't show the game. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this whole only active when nonsense. One, there's far too many variables. Second, it's always dependent, or 99% dependent on enemy or team movement, not on you activating it, but your team or enemies activating it, which is not good. So yeah, trash. The rest of our tradition is still good, the 1% is fine, but don't take it for this, it's useless. Second skill, heavy AP, bonus times caused by depth charges, 10%. Nice. I think it's personally weird that you use it by heavy AP shells. Because if you want to shoot at submarines, I think HE should be the main armament type, because you get all this extra fragmentation area. And that's on main battery and secondary shells. Oh no, it doesn't, wait. It doesn't say HE here. It doesn't say HE. How is this? HE? No. It doesn't say HE here. Battleships? Yeah. As well as HE rockets. But it doesn't say HE or AP there. So, okay, I can take that back. Heavy AP shells works because your fragmentation works on AP shells apparently now. It's a plus 50% fragmentation damage. Do AP shells have fragmentation damage? If they don't, 0%, yeah. A 0 range means 0, 50% of 0 is still 0. But if they do a fragmentation damage area, maybe. But it's still weird. I would put this on extra heavy HE shells because you want to shoot HE at submarines, I'd say. So this is a bit of a wonky one. It just doesn't fit the skill, in my opinion. Unless you get an extra bonus there, but it doesn't really fit the skill. Aircraft carrier, added a bonus for hidden menace. Hidden menace. Skill I just showed you there. A very useless skill at the moment. Only ship I run it on is my Graf Zeppelin, because I don't rely on its planes, because the planes are crap. I rely on its secondaries. But Hidden Menace, the minus 50% ship, yeah. Detectability range minus 50%. Reload time of damage control party minus 20%. We don't really care. I mean, you're basically immune to fires and floods anyway, but sure. And it's a good bonus, 20%, so sure. Speed returning air squadrons minus 50%. Hate that part. That's why I only run it on the Graf, because I use it for secondary nonsense, and then you have to get in range. And to reduce the detectability is very good. But what they're going to add for that? Minus 50% to the height, which players have to reach to become invulnerable, either after an attack or after we kill them by pressing F. So your planes get immune faster. In a menace, of course, you're stealthier, so your planes are harder to spot and shoot down. Fair enough. So it fits the skill at least. Yeah, it's a tier 4 skill with a very big downside on it. The only way you can play Hidden Menace is on the Audacious with the legendary skill, sorry, legendary mod, because it already reduces your concealment, sorry, your detection range by a lot. And then you can add this to it, so you can play close range. So the downside of this skill, minus 50% of speed of returning air squadrons, so they're very slow. But if you play in close range, like you can do in Audacious with that legendary module, it can work, because your squadrons are slow, but they only have to travel a short range. On any other ship, any other carrier, it is trash, except for the Graf Zeppelin, because I don't play as a carrier. I use the Spot as a carrier, and I will use the planes, but bombs are trash, rockets are trash. The only thing that's not trash is the torpedoes, and they are okay-ish on the Graf Zeppelin. So, yeah. It's nice that it gets a bonus, but it should just not have a downside. It should not have a downside. I still believe skills that you get for points should not have a downside. If they're too powerful, nerf them by decreasing their bonus, but don't give us a downside. You don't spend all your points for downsides. With the release of updates 10.7, all players with 100% discount on commander skill reset. Okay, 10.7, reset all your commanders for free, instantly, do that. Every single commander must be reset for free. If you want to reset your commander, wait till 10.7, it is free. That's a good thing. So, a lot of interesting skills. Let's zoom out a little bit. A lot of interesting skills. Some are completely trash, like this. And Brisk itself. Where's Brisk? No Brisk. No Brisk. And some... Yeah, this is also trash. Utterly trash. And some are interesting bonuses, slight bonuses, but most of it is just bad. Most of it is bad. The only good thing, really good thing, all across the board, power ignition, plus 50% to fragmentation. Unfortunately, when shooting submarines, which is big bad. But at least you got that one added to power ignition. If you have power ignition for the fire chance, you're a bit better against submarines as well. So it's an additive thing, that's fine. Secondaries for battleships. So up to interpretation, I can't say if it's good or bad. At the moment, I tend to head towards the bad side because I haven't seen many good things out of warship with skills rated things so far in a long time. So I'm pessimistic about it. But it could be good. It could actually be amazing, but that's it. But it could be good. Beyond that, yeah. They try to make AA a bit more all round, so work AA builds also against submarines, which is a nice touch. And that's it for the block changes.